Hello everybody, it's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we've got Bachelor Contestant Kelsey talking about the traumatic experience of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know too much about it, but we're going to listen to what she has to say and do a little bit of a deep dive, exposing religious trauma. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, and I know you might get triggered. Maybe you are in the Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if Jehovah's Witness is a big audience of ours, but there's other subsegments of religious culture where people feel they have had to do a lot of work sort of unwinding the trauma from growing up with certain rules, restrictions, things like that. Again, this afternoon, I'll be on Bachelor Rush Hour, the afternoon podcast, where we'll continue to have interesting and fun conversations about all things pop culture. All right, so Kelsey, she's on this current season, right? She's doing a great job. Had her one-on-one where they did the Cirque du Soleil. Well, now she's posted on her Instagram here. Here she is, real estate agent, extraordinaire, actor as well. And she's on, of course, this current season of The Bachelor. Well, here's where she posted about growing up J-dubs. Just wanted to let everyone who grew up JW, Jehovah's Witness, with religious trauma know that you are not alone. I didn't think my story would resonate with so many people. I'm usually a very private person, but I'm realizing that so many people go through the same things, and we need each other to understand that we made the right decisions. With that said, my dad watched the episode with me, and I'm grateful for that. He recently got out of the hospital, and I just want to let any JW know that time is precious. Family is family, regardless of religion. Leaving Jehovah's Witness can be isolating, but stand in your truth. No time is finite, and lead with love. Gosh, I love this. I really do. Of course, she's in reference to...
Sunlight out here doing a little something.
There she is, looking good with that good sunlight. Got that good sunlight, looking real nice, looking like a video headshot right there. So there she is, kind of just showing, some in a deeper side that we might not always get to see from the show, which is that she's struggled with... leaving what she believed, I guess, was, I don't want to say abusive, but she's for sure called it traumatic. Jehovah's Witnesses practices are based on the biblical interpretation of Charles Russell, founder, born in 1852, of the Bible student movement and of successive presidents of the Watchtower Society. So anyway, Jehovah's Witnesses endeavor to remain separate from the world, which they regard as a place of moral contamination and under the control of Satan. Witnesses refuse to participate in any political and military activity and are told to limit social contact with non-witnesses. That's when you get into culty things, it's the non-mixing, you have to disown your family when you're in Scientology. Those types of things that pull you away is probably the crossing line for me when it comes to religion. It's like, by all means, my parents go to Catholic Mass and good for them. I don't anymore. But would I if I was with them? Sure, why not? Family bonding moment. I could get down on my knee and, spend 45 minutes sweating it out. Sure. But if my parents disowned me, because then it would be a different issue. The denomination requires adherence to a strict moral code, which forbids premarital sex. Oh boy. Homosexuality. Yikes. Gender transitioning, adultery, smoking, drunkenness, drug abuse, and blood transfusions. A system of judicial committees maintains discipline within congregations, exercising the power to expel members who breach the denomination's rules. So again, I don't think you could go on The Bachelor and be Jehovah's Witness. You can't do drunkenness. Again, maybe that's the only one. The strict moral code. I don't know if The Bachelor has a strict moral code. The threat of shunning also serves to deter members from dissident behavior. Again, very cult-like when you do that. The idea of like you'll be disowned if you, and then people start ratting on each other. Of course, I don't know too much about Jehovah's Witness, and I'm not here to bash them whatsoever. Other than, I had a very close friend of mine who was raised Mormon, different from Jehovah's Witness, but in his faith, he never got the acceptance from his family. He's one of my best friends. He left the church because he couldn't live up to their standards, and I think he's been very happy because of it. Sociologist Andrew Holden claims meetings create an atmosphere of uniformity for witnesses, intensify their sense of belonging to a religious community, and reinforce the plausibility of the organization's belief system. They are also important in helping new converts adopt a different way of life. According to the Watchtower, one role of the frequency and length of meetings is to protect witnesses from becoming involved in the affairs of the world. Witnesses are told they should never miss a meeting unless there is a serious reason. All right, well, this sounds like a ton of fun. So anyway, they do that, and of course, known Jehovah's Witnesses are known as, being the door knockers, and I don't believe they celebrate birthdays, which the white women would have a hard time out there, because I know a lot of white women love to celebrate their birthday all month long. Well, you couldn't do that if you were in the Jehovah's Witness. Anyway, so rather than read for you what Wikipedia says, there's actually some pretty interesting conversations online regarding Jehovah's Witness. There's actually an account called Jehovah's_Witness, where she talks about sort of the different vibes she feels having left the church. We'll play a few.
I get a lot of messages from people asking for advice. How did I get over the fear of Armageddon after I left? How have I moved on? How did I find friends? How am I living life now? It's so hard to live life outside of the witnesses when that's all you've known. I feel like I need to be brutally honest today.
Please.
I have not moved on. I have not gotten over the fear. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I am probably not a great person to ask for advice on how to move on, because I don't know. The reason I make these videos is because I don't want other people to be stuck the way I was stuck. I'm not stuck anymore, but I'm certainly not over it.
I think that goes to explain, how deeply seated the trauma can be from upbringing that don't align with where you think your morals are, So it's not to say that some people are horrible people. Everyone wants belonging. It's just, is the world full of temptation? Sure. But that doesn't mean it's all bad. There's plenty of things that could tempt you that are good. There's, plenty of things that maybe the Jehovah's Witness would consider Satan's doings, and I would disagree. I think we spread a lot of love on our channel. I think we do it in a spiritual way more so than a religious way. But either way, this whole idea of who's got the right God and who's got the right interpretation, I just find that rubbish. Let's play a few more clips.
Asking a former Jehovah's Witness elder questions we really want to know. Maybe part 1? We could always do more. Okay, question number 1. Why were you disfellowshipped?
So I was disfellowshipped because I was talking to other people as well as making public posts and statements about the problem with child sexual abuse within the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society.
Yikes.
So, for speaking the truth. Okay, question number 2. Is there really a secret elders book?
So there is a secret elders book, although it's not really quite so secret. You can download it online from a number of different sources, but the name of that book, I believe, is Shepherding the Flock of God with Kindness, and I still have a copy of it.
Which you can find by Googling Shepherd the Flock of God PDF on Google, and the most
how
recent
cool is
copy
this guy? This is her father. He was an elder for 15 years. I always get so interested in hearing these stories. This isn't propaganda. This is just somebody's experiences. Stupid reasons you could be disfellowshipped.
Here's a few really stupid reasons why you could be disfellowshipped.
By the way, if anyone doesn't hit the like button, you're going to get disfellowshipped from our community. I will disfellowship you so fast. If you don't hit that like button on this video right now, dare you get disfellowshipped from the Watchtower of Dave. I will.
Witness. I was looking at the Shepherd the Flock of God book, and I just couldn't believe some of these. I had never noticed them before. Circumstantial evidence of sexual immorality. They don't even have to have actual proof that you've cheated on your spouse.
Oh my God, this sounds like Jane Doe would love being in the Jehovah's Witness. She's the queen of circumstantial evidence.
Your spouse following you around and assuming is good enough proof. That's enough to be cut off from all your friends and family. Getting remarried if your previous spouse didn't sleep with somebody else. And not only will you get in trouble for getting remarried, the person you choose to remarry will also get in trouble for marrying you.
Hold on. You get in trouble if your previous spouse didn't sleep? I don't know. Either way, let's play 1 or 2 more. These are interesting. These are fun. Things I wasn't allowed to do growing up.
Things I wasn't allowed to do growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. I wasn't allowed to celebrate my birthday or any holidays. When I say no holidays, I mean no holidays.
No Thanksgiving?
Like including Mother's Day, Father's Day, anything like that.
4th of July?
No holidays. I wasn't allowed to go to prom or any school dances. I also wasn't allowed to do any extracurricular activities at school or otherwise, unless it was going in service. I wasn't allowed to have dream catchers in my house. I wasn't allowed to talk to any of my friends or family members that had been disfellowshipped. I wasn't allowed to get a blood transfusion if I needed one. I wasn't allowed to hang out with kids from school. I wasn't allowed to go to college. When I was 17, I wasn't allowed to go see Alice in Wonderland because there was too much magic in it or something.
Jeez.
I don't know what was it.
Boy, can't go to college. All right, let's do our final one here. Let's just scroll through. What's a good one? She's got a lot of good ones over here. We're going to have to follow this account. All these different, I mean, it's almost like, religious trauma can be so deeply ingrained that you don't realize all the questions that it could conjure up. And I mean, look at all the content regarding all of the different aspects of the church.
Children of Jehovah's Witnesses are not safe. The Watchtower organization has a 2-witness rule that protects sexual predators and puts children and others directly in harm's way. They base this rule on the scripture in Deuteronomy 19:15. No single witness may convict another for any error or sin he may commit. In the case of CSA, there are rarely ever 2 witnesses. A Watchtower article in November of 1995 says the following about reporting CSA. This means that even if several children make accusations against the same person.
Oh, okay, all right. I've heard enough. This is a bummer. Look, I mean, hey, the least you can do is talk about these things. This is one of the good aspects of the internet is that people can do a little research and realize maybe they're in a high control religion. That's what it's called, right? High control religion. I tell you what, if Kelsey ever is available, wouldn't it be interesting to have a conversation with her about coming out of the church? She seems to be radiating now, and I've got so much more respect for her. Not that I didn't have any beforehand, given what she may have gone through. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be live on Patreon a little late today, probably around 12:30 to 12:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. I just have some errands I need to run, but we'll be back with more content right after this.